Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 4th, 2023. I hope everybody had a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody having a great Sunday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to talk about your forecast for Monday and Tuesday. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisory map for your location. We're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview and a few other products they offer. And also, we're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center for the next 48 hours in the northwestern tropical Atlantic. Okay, if you're a new viewer, subscribe to my channel. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos with your family, friends, and relatives on social media. So that way I can get more subscribers on my forecast channel. Love to have them. And let's go ahead and get the show on the road, folks. And let's dive on into the forecast now. Okay, we're going to start off in southern Canada, northeast, and then work our way around. Alright, southeast Canada looks A-OK. We got some shower activity over portions of southeastern Canada, back around Montreal, Toronto, Canada area as well. Also into portions of Maine, back through New Hampshire. Also into Boston and New York, northern Pennsylvania. We got some more shower and thunderstorm activity over Tennessee, back into North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way into Alabama, into the Gulf of Mexico, all the way into Texas, New Mexico, into Colorado, Utah, Nevada, into California, southern Oregon, also into portions of Washington, into Wyoming, and in Idaho, and portions of southern Canada and Montana. Also, we got some shower and thunderstorm activity in south central Florida, off into the Gulf waters and also Atlantic waters around the Miami area. Also, we got the shower and thunderstorm activity over southern Canada, back into North Dakota, back in the portion of Minnesota, Iowa, and also into Wisconsin as well. Also northwestern Michigan there as well. We got dry high pressure dominating west of Montreal and Toronto, back to Michigan and eastern Wisconsin and Illinois, Indiana, back into Kentucky, Ohio, and the portion of Virginia, portion of North Carolina, portion of South Carolina, Georgia, the Panhandle of Florida, and northern Florida as well. All the way back into Iowa, Missouri, also back in the south to North Dakota, and a portion of eastern Montana, northeastern Wyoming. High pressure is also in control of Seattle, Washington area, back into Oregon, Vancouver, Canada vicinity as well. Also in the portion of southern Idaho, also in the southwestern United States, around southern California, southern Nevada, also southern Utah, and also in Arizona, down into Mexico, and also down into the Gulf of California there as well. Shower and thunderstorm activity around San Francisco and also in the portion of Los Angeles. Also got some mixed precipitation in southern California. Also over here just west of Denver there as well. In the red slashed area, there could be some flash flooding possible across northeastern New Mexico and the Panhandle portion of Texas for your Monday. Okay, we still got shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of Maine, back into portion of New Hampshire, back into New York, and also down into Boston area as well. We got dry high pressure dominate southern Canada all the way into Minnesota. Portions of northeastern Minnesota, that is, Wisconsin, down to Illinois, back to Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, back into North Carolina. Also into Virginia, Washington, D.C., and also into Pennsylvania as well. Chicago, Illinois, you in the high pressure ridge as well. We got shower and thunderstorm activity, eastern North Carolina, Outer Banks, North Carolina, through South Carolina, all the way into Georgia. Some down here in southern Florida, around Miami area there in the Florida Keys. Also back into the Gulf of Mexico, through Mississippi, Louisiana, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, all the way back over to New Mexico. Also all the way back over to Denver, Colorado, back into Utah and Nevada. Also into portions of California as well, and then Oregon, back into Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, southern Canada. And extends all the way back into portions of Minnesota and also down into Iowa. In the red slashed area, there's some flash flooding possible. Some mixed precipitation just west of Denver, Colorado, and Colorado State. And also over here in the central California there as well. High pressure is in charge around southern California to the southern Nevada, southern Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and the Gulf of California. And also high pressure is in charge also up here in around the southwestern Canada, around Vancouver, Canada, through portions of northwest Montana, north central Idaho through northern Oregon, and all of Washington State as well for your Tuesday. But also we got some shower and thunderstorm activity over the portions of southeastern portions of Canada, back into Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont, and also Portugal. Also got some dry air and high pressure dominate from New York down to South Carolina. Also back to Ohio, back to Illinois, back into portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin region areas. Areas there. I can't talk this afternoon. So the forecast here. Anyway, we got shower and thunderstorm activity off the southeast coast down here around the Bahamas, also in the northern portion of Cuba. We got more shower and thunderstorm through west coast of Florida, through central Florida, back Louisiana, back to Texas, northern Mexico. Also all the way in the portion of Arizona, New Mexico, and also in the portion of California, Oregon. All the way up in the portion of southern Canada, including Montana. Also back in the north to South Dakota as well, back over to northern Minnesota. Like I said, got plenty of activity over southern Canada. Scattered activity over the central portion of the United States there as well. Guam radar currently unavailable. Got a few scattered showers over Alaska. Hawaii and Chain Island got a few scattered. Rico looks a-okay. Alright, let's move on to the watches, warnings, and advisories map for your location. Alrighty, as you can see, we still got that coastal flood advisory in effect for a portion of Washington, D.C. area, down in eastern North Carolina, even down here along the coastal areas of South Carolina and the coastal areas of Florida. Got a severe thunderstorm warning down here in southwest Florida, special weather statement for some severe weather there as well. Also over here in portion of Georgia, North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, northern Georgia, also northern Mississippi. Also special weather statements and some severe warnings in effect for northern Louisiana and portions of Arkansas. Also over here in portions of south central Texas, got a special marine warning there along coastal areas there. Some special weather statements also in portions of Colorado, and also over here in portions of Kansas, also up in the portions of South Dakota there as well. Also special weather statements over here in portions of Nevada and also California, and one little area there in Washington State. Flood advisory right there in California. Also the river flood warning is still in effect for Nevada, back in the Idaho, back in the portions of North and South Dakota. Also in the Colorado, also in the portions of northwestern New Mexico and southwestern Arizona as well. Got a little bit down here in portions of Oklahoma there as well. Still got that flash flood watch in effect for northwestern Mississippi. Got some flood warnings, flood advisories over portions of North Texas, South Texas as well. Also eastern Texas. Also got flood watches, flood warnings in effect for portions of New Mexico there as well. Flood watches in effect there too in portions of Idaho as well. And also some flood advisories over Montana, Idaho, and also, like I said, in portions of California once again. Also air quality alerts, southwestern portion of Arizona. Also over here in northeast Texas. Also over here in portions of Indiana. Also in Ohio as well. Also in the portion of northern Kentucky. Also air quality alerts over northeastern Illinois. Also up here in the portions of Wisconsin, and also portions of east southeastern Minnesota. Special weather statement there also in effect for portions of northern Michigan. And also red flag warnings there in effect for Michigan there as well. Alaska looks good. Got a few red flag warnings on the south side. Hawaii and Chain Island looks a-okay. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center overview forecast page. You can see there's all that scattered activity over southern Canada, back into the Rockies in the Pacific Northwest, also in the Plain States, also in the South, also offshore in the coastal. That marginal risk in portion of Virginia, West Virginia, all the way back into northern Georgia, back into Tennessee, a little bit down here in southeast Louisiana, and central and south Texas. Let's take a look at the convective outlook. There's that general thunderstorm activity. Southern Georgia, Florida Keys, back to Texas, all the way back into California, Montana, all the way back into portion of Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, and the surrounding states. There's the marginal risk down in central and southern Texas, down here around Louisiana, and also over here in Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, all the way up into portion of West Virginia. We do currently have no watches in effect. We have no MDS discussions in effect. The storm reports for today, as of this current recording, we have no tornado reports. Wind reports, we had 9, 0 was high. Hail reports was 5, 0 was large. So that brought the total number to 14 for today so far. Would not rule out a few more to add, maybe up to, it may add up to around 20 altogether by today's over with. Alright, the wind reports, like I see down here, West Florida, the Florida Panhandle, also in the portion of southern Arkansas, southern portion of Illinois, southeastern Iowa, eastern portion of Nebraska, and northwestern portion of Kansas. The hail report looked like it was down here in southeast Louisiana, up here in northwest Illinois, and also over here in the eastern portions of Nebraska. Alrighty, and let's take a look at the fire weather real quick. All areas are clear, so we're A-OK in that department, so nothing to worry about there. And finally, we're going to wrap up this video with the National Hurricane Center, Northwestern Tropical Atlantic. Currently, we have no tropical cyclone activity expected during the next 48 hours. So, we're all clear in the tropics. Nothing out there to worry about at this time, so we're good to go. And let's go ahead and wrap this video up now. Hope everybody enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. And we'll catch you back in the next one.